February 7, 1964, a transatlantic Boeing 707 landed at JFK. Hatch opened. Cheers nearly drowned engines. 4 young men climbed aboard. The Beatles officially arrived, but more than 4 were watched. Camera sweeps fuselage. Blue globe gleams in sun. Pan Am name still clear. He wasn't background. He shared the spotlight with the band. Pan Am meant aviation then. He ran a world-leading long-range fleet. His timetable was a literal world map. Pan Am linked NYC, London, Paris, Tokyo. He brought distances close, shortened oceans, making transocean travel routine, not risky adventure. 60 years later, Beatles albums replay, legacy lives, but Pan Am that brought them over is legend. That was Pan Am's charm and tragedy. It shrank the world when it did. Pan Am vanished. When a company itself becomes an era, how does it then disappear from that era? Before Pan Am shrank it, the world felt vast. In 1927, what seemed normal, unquestioned. Time isn't cheap. Distance is real. Crossing oceans often meant weeks, not hours flying. The distance was vast, oceans wide. Then Pan Am began there. 1927. With funds and backing, one trip founded Pan Am, first securing U.S. Cuba rights. Fate changed, not by a route, but the times. The U.S. government, to curb German-backed Avianca, handed ACA international rights and airmail contracts. This step nearly secured his early monopoly. Soon, ACA became Pan Am. Bluntly, Pan Am had a patron. Spared market wars. History launched it. 1930s. Pan Am expanded south, Caribbean to Central America, then South America, route by route. Solo transatlantic Charles Lindbergh then joined Pan Am, scouting sites, test flying, planning routes. For Pan Am, it wasn't just flying there. It was making flight a profitable business. In 1931, Pan Am introduced the Sikorsky S-40, first naming it symbolic Clipper, named after 19th century fast clipper sailing ships. The name wasn't romantic. It showed Pan Am's logic. Sky is sea, routes by hubs, fuel at stops, pilots captains, boarding like ships. Seafaring thinking shaped Pan Am. Not merely flying planes, but running sky like sea. In 1935, Pan Am chased dreams. Clipper flew SF via Hawaii, Midway, Guam to Manila. Not a direct flight, but a design network. Standardized fuel, stops, and dispatch. Each island a station. Every landing preps next leg. From then on, the Pacific wasn't a blank now, it was a tradable route. 2 years later, Pan Am copied it on Atlantic routes, launching world's top earning transatlantic service. Flight left New York via Newfoundland, Ireland, arriving London. Pan Am once sold more than tickets. Power to cross distance. Back then, distance cost dearly. Whoever crossed it set prices, not cheap. One way was $375, roughly $9,000 in today's dollars. Pan Am rivaled cruises with roomy seats, meals, sleepers. Not today's mass flight. A few's privilege, reachable only by rich, famous diplomats. Pan Am aimed beyond flying people, lodging after landing, connections, and completing the journey. 1946, Pan Am founded Intercontinental. Fly with me. I'll arrange your stay. From takeoff to hotels, sky to ground. Pan Am evolved from a carrier into world's largest travel agency. This moment, Pan Am quit participating, began defining it. Routes to hubs, planes to hotels. He knit the world one system. Connected. Shrunken world we take for granted slowly formed in Pan Am's memory. But here, everything was quietly foreshadowed. Pan Am rose to power by conquering distance, so it was destined to lose what made it special once distance became cheap. Some viewers may wonder, unlike today's trans-Pacific and transatlantic routes, why then did Pan Am face almost no rivals there? What about other firms? Not tech, not market policy is the answer. A company's fate needs effort and history too. No idea how Pan Am, an airline, got picked as America's carrier. 1938, U.S. passed Civil Aeronautics Act, formed CAB, fully regulating aviation industry. Want a route? Fine. Get a license first. It's hard even Delta must toast authorities. In approvals, CAB used plausible yet lethal rule. Avoid over-competition. If it's taken, don't fly here. Subtly, before the act, Pan Am built a Latin American network and gained ocean crossing know-how. When rules came, it became America's assumed overseas air carrier. Rules and Pan Am start gave near monopoly air rights. In a competition-free market, Pan Am quickly grew, creating routes worldwide and brand authority. But this edge hit another cost, resurfacing decades later in a different form. After World War II, ex-military airliners boosted civil travel. Pan Am became a global airline. 1946 Bermuda Agreement granted U.S. carriers UK Fifth Freedom rights, enabling routes. June 17, 1947, Pan Am flew the first round-the-world flight in an L-749 Constellation. New York East via London, Mideast, India, Japan, Islands, San Francisco, back. Classic flights 001 and 002. Here world first formed one route. Pan Am ran the flight until 1982. Symbol of power and ambition. It circled Earth. October 4th, 1958. Britain's Comet launched first transatlantic London-New York service. But Pan Am ushered in jet travel. 3 weeks later, Pan Am opened New York to Paris with the Boeing 707, bigger, faster, longer range than the Comet. Key: Boeing 707 windows were round. Then transatlantic logic shifted. 707 cut flight time, boosted reliability, and increased frequency. Could you fly before? Now fly today? Pan Am set speed, price. After jets arrived, Pan Am launched transatlantic economy service. Denser seating boosted capacity, cutting per passenger costs. The strategy succeeded, ending elite's monopoly on transoceanic travel. It opened to people, making far places nearer. In the 1960s, air travel quadrupled. Pan Am led boom. 1962, Pan Am first hit 100,000 Atlantic flights. Boeing 707 put Pan Am on top, demanded larger airports, longer runways, modern terminals, grander HQ. In 1963, Pan Am built 58-story, 246-meter Pan Am building atop Manhattan's Grand Central, then largest office. Blue Pan Am sign hung above. Iconic mid-century NYC skyline. Pan Am built rooftop heliport, flying straight to JFK Airport. Imagine! From a midtown Manhattan office to rooftop helicopter, then straight to airport in under 20 minutes in time to board your next transatlantic flight. Compared to that, Airlines' Porsche/Maybach pickups today look pathetic. Now Pan Am wasn't just linking the world, it helped run it. 707 boosted speed, 747 boosted sheer scale. In 1965, one trip told Chief Bill Allen, "The 707 was exciting but too small. Could you build a bigger jetliner?" Bigger and bigger? Allen, buy it. I'll build it. 1. Build it. I'll buy. 2 crazies clicked, birthing eternal queen of skies Boeing 747. Unlike today's 777X, Boeing once turned 747 drawings into reality in 14 years. 1970. First 747 delivered to Pan Am. Flew first NYC London service. Simple logic. Bigger planes seat more people. More seats cut costs. Lower costs mean cheaper tickets. Cheaper tickets make flying for everyone. Later Pan Am promoted 747 SPs, chased world records, and back Concorde, and Boeing 2707. Pan Am was an airline. It pushed humanity forward. During relentless expansion, peak Pan Am did more. It made world travel standard, turning flight from a miracle for few into daily access for everyone. When a company becomes the era, its peak starts eclipse. As Pan Am came to define the era with flight and global crossings, the era itself was pushing the airline onto an unpredictable stage of destiny. We said Pan Am led globally, but in U.S. domestic skies? Surprise! Pan Am flew no domestic routes. Yes, you heard right. This airline empire spanned the globe, yet lacked roots. It began with 1938's Civil Aeronautics Act. Pan Am got international routes. Government gave domestic routes to American, United, Delta, curbing competition. Rivals couldn't enter Pan Am's overseas routes, but it barred Pan Am domestically. Oddly, rivals thrived domestically. Pan Am only crossed oceans, and even Signature 001/002 round-the-world flights had no domestic legs. At first, no issue. Pan Am flew glamorous international routes afar. As aviation grows, issues worsen. International aviation works like a web. Domestic flights funnel travelers into big city hubs. International legs carry them overseas. There, new routes redistribute them hub to hub again. Pan Am missed the feeder leg. It flew oceans, yet couldn't funnel U.S. passengers onto its flight skies. No arteries. At first it was minor, then became Pan Am's first domino. Problems erupted after the 1978 Airline Deregulation Act. It freed routes, ended price controls, and let more airlines in. Seems freer, fairer, but Pan Am wasn't raised by free competition. Under the system, government made Pan Am unique. Fly hub to hub, expand, not think. Privilege cost. Pan Am lacked domestic network, steady funding, and home base. In 80s, rules changed. Shun competition to currency rivalry. Allocate air rights. Now markets decide. So American, United, and Delta shifted domestic strengths into international markets. Home routes fed passengers. Hubs gathered them. Overseas routes expanded. Arrived with a system, not from scratch. Pan Am's issues peaked then. Without domestic network or steady customers, Pan Am lagged. Stuck at New York/San Francisco hubs, waiting. Rules changed. Advantage vanished. System raised heights became started falling as rivals thrived on hub-fed domestic and international crowds. Where did Pan Am profit? Pan Am wouldn't wait. Without network, it bought one. So Pan Am bought domestic carrier National. America, I'm back. It sounded logical. National's coast-to-coast network could funnel passengers to Pan Am's international routes, seemingly the exact missing piece for them. Reality proved. Buying a puzzle doesn't mean it'll fit. First, it costs too much. During the takeover, Pan Am overpaid to beat rivals. Pan Am was already strained. 747 loans, rising interest, no cash glamour outside, grit inside. Second, systems clashed. National's fleet, maintenance, scheduling and operations differed from Pan Am's. The forced merger required more spares, upkeep and dispatch costs up, efficiency down. Worst was their culture clash. Pan Am, elite, global, old guard airline, aloof. National Airlines is more local, market-driven, and grounded. Any answer of buying ruin sensible? Obviously not. The buyout didn't fix Pan Am. It caused troubles. Pan Am was unraveling when outside turmoil hit. 2 oil shocks hiked costs. Oil spikes hurt airlines. Pan Am hurts double. Pan Am ran long ocean routes. Farther burned fuel. Bigger fleets raised costs. Oil hikes intensified pressure. Just then, deregulation sparked a full-blown price war. Airlines fought on trunk routes. I needn't profit. What matters is you don't hear. Domestic networks and varied income let firms cover unprofitable international routes with scale and home base. But Pan Am couldn't. No profitable routes, no hubs, no cost sharing, no slack. Now Pan Am's trouble isn't one weak link. Its once proud entire system now holds it back. Early 80s recession. Firms cut costs, consumers spent less, and international flights were the first to go. Era's ash became a mountain for Pan Am. 747s were never fun. Pan Am's true 1980s mood. Boeing 747. More passengers, lower costs, more profit. But logic assumes demand keeps rising. The snowball must never stop. When traffic falls, planes stay big. Maintenance, staff, and flights continue, and costs keep rising. Big jets meant to spur costs instead magnified losses when factors fell. Flights ran, seats empty, costs unchanged. Pan Am's pain. It bet on scale, rode era. When times turned, scale became baggage. If Pan Am had still been fighting to patch things up earlier, by the 1980s it had few moves left. Cash ran dry, so it chose the unthinkable. Sell itself. In 1981 it sold the Pan Am building in Manhattan. New York sun rose, but the logo stopped shining, and the city airport helipad faded into dust. That was only the start. Its Pacific routes, born in the China Clipper era, were sold to United Airlines. Later, Pan Am sold profitable transatlantic routes, intercontinental hotels, and prized 747s. Once, these assets built an empire. Now, like a split band, they scattered, leaving fractured Pan Am and stray 747s. Pan Am quit growing, quit defining world, swapping its past for airtime. Fate gave no respite. Big symbols draw fire. America's blue globe, icon of globalization, drew terrorists. 1986. Pan Am Flight 73 hijacked in Pakistan. Casualties. Reputation fell. 2 years later, Lockerbie doomed Pan Am. A 747 exploded over Scotland. 270 died. Huge payouts. Brand collapse. Trust drop Pan Am. Past halo turns to magnifier. Brighter glow, harsher fall. Then Pan Am's crises hit at once. Selling assets cut profits. Years of losses and settlements dried cash flow. The national airlines buyout stayed an unhealed wound, bleeding them. Gulf War dealt Pan Am final blow. Oil spiked, travel fell. Like summer torrents slammed it down hard. January 1991. Pan Am bankrupt. Later, underdog Delta bought Pan Am's profitable assets, injected funds to keep it alive, only delaying the end. December 4th, 1991. Pan Am ceased. Clipper Goodwill 727 flew final flight. After touchdown, the gear scraped up smoke. Pan Am may recall 1964, when the Beatles landed in New York. Cheers. Flashing cameras. Its blue globe glowing? Now the smoke fades. A world-defining name. An era-making company. Quietly ends here. Pan Am didn't fall apart in midair or under spotlights. It ended with a landing. Its final movement. In hindsight, Pan Am's life was history fast-forwarded. China Clipper crossed oceans. 707 began jet age. 747 carried the world. Shortened distance. Eased time. Made faraway reachable daily. Connected the world. Beyond cities. Many ask how mighty Pan Am failed. It wasn't one plane, route, or acquisition alone. Pan Am fell as its whole logic failed. It mastered distance, not routes. But it assumed distance was costly. When crossings were heroic, Pan Am was mythic. Ocean flights routine. Myths fade. Today's ordinary days would have seen non-stop miracles before Pan Am's pioneering era. That's Pan Am's glory and tragedy. It shrank the world. Then the world left it behind. Pan Am shrank the world, then vanished into history. In 1991, it folded, erased from schedules. Truly silent? Maybe not. Today, each transoceanic flight, hub connection, and ticket still bears Pan Am's shadow. It reshaped aviation and sense of distance. Storms and waves fell silent. Pan Am is gone as a company, yet as a pioneer. It soars overhead forever,